Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Rana Muhammad Kashif and you're watching my YouTube channel Positive People Commission. Here I am with the next episode of Introduction to our Programming series. If you want to know about myself, please do check my LinkedIn profile. And what was in episode number 4? Just to recap it, what we have learned in the episode number 4 in the previous week about workspace and files, how we can store files, how we can create files, and how to know our current working directory, how to assign a new working directory for our R project. We have learned in the previous episode. Also, we have learned about how to generate a different sequence of number with different set of properties, and how to generate this sequence of numbers in R. If you don't have watched my video, click on the rightmost corner and do watch it. And what's stored up in the episode number 5. In episode number 5 today, we're gonna cover up what are vectors in R, basic atomic vectors in R, and what are its different types, what are logical vector, what are character vectors. We will cover up in this episode, and how to handle missing values or how missing values are represented in R, we will learn in this episode. So the first one, what are vectors in R? Basically, vectors come in different types. The first one is atomic vectors. Atomic vector contain only a single data type. It could be a logical vector, character vector, an integer, or a complex vector. A list contain multiple data types. In this episode, we will only focus on atomic vectors. And the first one is logical vectors in R. Primarily we will only discuss logical and character vectors in R, and the rest of the vectors in R we will leave this, and we will leave the rest of the types for some other episode. What are logical vectors in R? Logical vectors in R can take values such as true, false, and NA, and these values are produced based upon some conditions. So logical vectors are produced based upon some condition. Here is an example table what symbols mean. So let's get straight into R to know that what does I really mean. So let us create a vector first, a numeric vector 0.1, 99, 12 and -1. And let's create a logical vector. We know that logical vectors is based upon some conditions, so let's assign it as logical under vec, and we want the above vector and we want those elements which are less than 1. So what does it have produced? Let's print it. You can see that it has produced 4 elements of logical values. The first one is 0.1. So it tested 0.1, either it is less than 1 or greater than 1. We have run the logical check of less than 1. So 0.1 is less than 1, so it has returned true. And 99 is less than 1, it is false, so it has returned false. For on the same lines, 12 is less than 1 is false, and -1 is less than 1 is true. So in this way we have generated our first logical vector in R. So let's try something else. Vec underscore num greater than or equal to 3. So it again had generated 4 logical values. The first one is not greater than or equal to 3, it has returned false. 99 is greater than or equal to 3. 12 has also passed this test, so it has returned true, and -1 has failed this logical test, so it has returned false. So you can see it, these are some simple ways we can create our logical vectors in R. So for the next more examples, I would like to suggest you that when I write a code, just pause this video and grab your notebook and pencil and break the code into pieces for better understanding that what will be the output, so you will gain the maximum. So let me write first true is equal to false. We have learned in this table that double equal is exactly equal to, so it tests for equality. So we want to test whether true is equal to false. So what will be the output? Just pause the video. So have you come up with the answer? It is false. So true is not equal to false. So it has returned false. And another, 5 divided by 5 is not equal to 1. What would be the output? False, because 5 divided by 5 is actually 1, and 1 is not equal to 1 is actually false, because 1 is equal to 1. So what if we have done this? So it has returned true. So you see that understanding these logical vectors or logical conditions is very essential. Moving on, and true, and this true or false, it stands for or. So what will be the output? True or false? So it will be true. Okay, and true and false. So before going into the true and false, what OR does? OR actually tests whether any of the condition is true, so it returns true. So true or false is actually true. So true is actually true, so it has returned true because one condition is true. It's a bit tricky, but it will take time and you will get along. True and false. What AND does? AND is actually stands for intersection. It stands for it tests for both conditions. If both on the left or the right are true, that it will return true. Otherwise it will return false. So what will it do? It will return false, because true and false, there is no intersection. And what about true and true? It will return true. And what about false and false? Interesting one, no? False and false, so it will return false. Moving on with some few more examples. 4 is greater than 5 and 3 is equal to 3. You can see 4 is greater than 5 is actually false, and 3 is equal to 3 is actually true. So it will be false and true. So it will return false. So I will give some more example in the video description. For right now, let's go to another example which will develop your understanding regarding logical vectors. Let's do it with some complicated example. 222 is greater than or equal to 222 or not equal to true, and 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. So just pause the video and do some pencil work on your notebook and let me know what it will return. So let us go with the first expression on here. 222 is greater than or equal to 22 is actually true, because it also tests for equal to or not equal to true. So true or false, we have already done it. True or false is true. And 4 plus 1 equal to 5, so 5 is equal to 5 is actually true. So true and true, it will return true. So so you get that logical vectors are very important in understanding further developing in R. So that's for it now. For logical vectors, let's move on to learn character vectors in R with some examples. Let me just press Ctrl plus L to clear this all. Another common type of vectors in R are character vectors, which are distinguished by putting double quotes around it. For example, create a character vector of length 4. Character underscore vec is equal to my passion is learning. And if I just paste it, print it, you can see there are double spaces in this line. And if I want to paste it and specify space between characters, I can do it with function paste character underscore vec, and I will have to apply collapse argument and just give a single space, and you can see that now it looks a bit better. My passion is learning. So that's how you can create a character vector in R. And I can also add something to the existing character vector. For example, my underscore passion, and I will assign it to the existing vector, and I will add another argument, data analysis. And if I print it, and I can use paste to readjust it, and collapse with a single space, so it looks a bit better now. Paste can also be used to join vectors with a specified separator. For example, paste hello world and separator is equal to with the single space. So you can also use it to join vectors with the specified separator. We can also join two vectors each of length 2 like this, paste 1 colon 2 and cxy, another vector, and pass separator as nothing. So you have seen it has returned 1x and 2y. So you have seen that the 1, 2 are no more numbers, and it has coerced it into the character vector. What if vectors are of different lengths? Yes, you are right. We have learned in the last episode that recycling approach will be applicable in this situation. So let me try another. Paste letters in a vector. Letter is a vector in R of alphabets. 1 colon 4 and separator is equal to, let's try dash as a separator. And you have seen that from A to Z 1, 2, 3, 4 has been recycled. 1, 2, 3, 4, again 1, 2, 3, 4 till the last alphabet. In above example, numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 are no longer numbers to R, but rather characters within double quotes. So let's move on to our next part of the video, which is missing values in R. In this part we will learn how to handle missing values in R. Missing values plays an important role in statistics and data analysis. Often missing values must not be ignored, but rather they should be carefully studied to see if there is an underlying pattern or cause of their missingness. So that is why to know how R deals with these values, how missing values are presented in R, it is very important. So Control plus L to clear the console. In R, NA is used to represent any value in a data set that is not available or missing. So let me create a vector. X is C12 NA 43 NA, and just print it. You can see that NA is represented as not available or missing value. And what if I divide X divided by 3? You see that NAs are still NAs because there are no values. Now let's make it interesting and draw 100 random numbers from a standard normal distribution. Like y is equal to R norm is the function to generate random numbers from a standard normal distribution. Let's generate 100 random numbers. And now let's create a vector of NAs. we can create a vector of n as we have learned in the previous episode how we can generate a sequence of number using rep, and we will generate n is 100 times. And now let's select 50 elements at random from these 200 values combined, such that we don't know how many n's will come up in our vector. So let's generate my data sample will do the purpose. Sample function will be used for this purpose. Both y z will be inputted as a vector, and we want 50 values. And if we print my data, my underscore data, you can see there are NAs along with the standard normal random variable values. And if we want to know whether there are NAs in our data or in our vector, we can use is.na, and I can assign it to my na is.na, and I will run it on my underscore data. And if I print my underscore na, you can see that it has returned me a vector of logical values, trues and false. Its result is a logical vector where a true corresponds to existence of na, whereas a false reflects non-existence of na. You understand that R represents true as the number 1 and false as the number 0. Therefore, if we sum my underscore na, we will only get number of trues, and hence we can know that how many NAs are in our this vector. So if we run sum of my underscore na, it has returned me that there are 30 NAs out of 50 in my vector. So if I print my underscore data to have a look at our data to convince ourselves that everything adds up. So you can check from this that there are 30 NAs in our my underscore data. Now let's look at a second type of missing value in R, which is represented as NaN, which is not a number. So let's divide 0 by 0. So you know that it is not possible, so it is not a number. So 0 divided by 0 returned as NaN, and INF in R is known as infinity. If I return minus infinity, you also know that as per mathematics that it is not a number. So R has returned it as a not a number. So that's it from the episode number 5. And just concluding remarks that what we have learned so far. We have learned atomic vectors in R, primarily about logical and character vectors functioning and how to conduct different set of operations on it. And also we have learned about missing values representation in R, and how we can tackle these values in R, and how these are represented, and how NAs are crucial if we want to analyze the data. So what's coming up in the next episode number 6? Episode number 6 of the R series will be subsetting vectors in R, and how we can extract some elements in the existing vectors specifying some conditions. And also we will learn some very important data structure in R, which is matrices, and very important data structure which is stored as a rectangular form in R, which is data frame, and how we can use to store the tabular data with rows and columns. I hope you have enjoyed the video. You have learned more in this episode. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz. Bye bye.